Hello, everybody. Welcome to New Comic Book Day. This is not Book Club. I'm hanging out here doing an indie show, indie comic book roundtable. I'm joined by my host and my background gentleman, Mr. Old Wolf 65. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great. You?
Cheers to you, good sir.
I love my family portraits back there. That's
You've become officially Uncle Tony now.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, let's see here.
Cool. Let's see. We got Ruben.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people in the chat already. There is no Alec tonight. He had to have some dental work done, and I know everybody loves David after dentist or whatever, Dylan after dentist, but I don't think Alec was up for being Alec after dentist, and he didn't get to his shop, so he was unable to grab books. And I said, no, it's no big deal. We'll worry about it later on. But I've got 2 weeks worth of books over here that I haven't had a chance to gab about. So I thought if anybody wants to join in, we're going to be talking about new comic books. If you want the link, just let me know on Instagram. I will shoot you the link. But we're just here to talk about fun, indies, whatever you're reading, and to share stuff. And then there's that. You guys are hilarious, on fire, off to the races right off the bat.
I have a beard. I'm wearing black, well, dark color, but I can shut the lights off. I can shut the lights off.
So hello to Ruben Guzman. He jumped in here right when I posted it. He is amazing at that. He's got all the notification bells hit. So anytime somebody pops a video, drops something live, he's the first guy in. So shout out to you, Ruben. Also, sorry for last week when I kept having issues loading my edited video, and you were Cowabunga famming it every time, and then it was like, nope, I have to delete that and try it again. So that was hilarious. I'm going to add Tony's link if you don't know Old Wolf 65. You can search Old Wolf 65 in YouTube and find him without any challenge. Ruben is the first in the chat. He's the fist in the chat. Actually, it says he's the fist in the chat. Better watch out. He's going to keep it. He's going to keep it real. New Comic Book Day Book Club has been really good. Can this fill its shoes? High praise. Chris Barrett is here. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
I think I said hello to Bear Island, even though he's cursing. Gorvidal says, good evening, John, Old Wolf, Chris. He said hello to everybody. Look at you, Gorvidal. Breaking it down. Jennifer is here, another great indie comic book aficionado. And if you follow Comic Chop News, every Saturday she does a show with Dan over there looking at new books. And I'm supposed to join them on Sunday because I am reading my first ever Sandman trade paperback.
Wow.
And we're having a month-long sort of book club, and this was the book they picked for this month. And we are chatting on Sunday. So very exciting. Hello to you, TJ. Good to see you in the chat, sir. And we got Old Wolf. You have a channel? There it is. Joke doesn't get old. Joke has legs.
I'm still looking for it. I just can't find it.
Sandman. Yeah, and Jennifer's a big Dune fan too, so any Dune references are going to go over my head, but she will catch them. And your crush Jennifer is here. Yeah, she's here. Don't ruin it. So I got a ton of books. I got 2 Aftershock books. I got 3 Boom Studios books. I got 1 Image book, and I got 2 IDW books. So this is from the last 2 weeks. Is there a publisher you're interested in, Old Wolf? A publisher you've been enjoying? Oh, look, he's got his books right there.
This was from this week. Because of you.
Boom.
Supposedly this is a good read.
I really enjoyed this.
I haven't read any of my comics yet, so I apologize.
I just want to show a couple of pieces of art here because I thought the artwork in this was great. So this is IDW. This is Sea of Sorrows. Sorry if the font is such that it kind of disappears on camera. I could make mine. Let me see if I can do this. Hey, there we go. I loved the artwork in this. I thought it was really cool. The old style. This is just after World War I. The underwater stuff I thought was really cool. I'm sorry for the angle, a little better there. I really dig the way they use the shadows and the black and the bubbles. I really, really, really am digging this. So definitely a big fan of the look of this book. Super, super cool style to it. I have not read Road of Bones, which is the same creative team. And I've got Perry on one side saying he's never going to read another book from these guys because he hated Road of Bones. And I got Rod on the other side saying it's the greatest thing ever.
And I asked my LCS about it because, I was picking this up. He wasn't very enthusiastic with that book either, Road of Bones.
Road of Bones. Yeah. I've heard though. I have some pretty distinct Road of Bones comments and extreme theories on it for sure. Let's see here. TJ says, John, you need to explain the slab behind you. This is a 2.5. It's not a great grade. Cream to off-white pages. It's got some wrinkles. Has not been pressed and cleaned.
The face hasn't been pressed and cleaned.
It's old. I don't know if it's worth even saving at this point, but it's been a gem in my collection.
TJ, he'll make an offer if you want it for your collection.
I don't think that. It's funny, but not accurate. So yeah, I did enjoy this book. I will get a second issue. I don't know that I fully understand it, but the art is so good and the ambiance of it is so great that I love the concept. So I'm in for another issue. Overall, I think this is an 8.5. I think this is an 8.5 for me. I love it enough to definitely get a second issue for sure.
Okay.
So the plot, if you want to know, is right after World War I, a group of treasure hunters find that there is a sunken submarine that had gold bars in it, and they're going down to collect it. But there's something supernatural down there, and they can't trust one another because they're all just in it for the money, and they can't trust Mother Nature because Mother Nature's kind of out to get them.
Oh, geez. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Bit of a heist history, sci-fi kind of horror thing. Little mix of genres here. So good. Hey, I'm glad you're trying it out here.
I got this one, of course.
Oh, yeah. I did not find any alternative covers to Something's Killing the Children this week.
Really? Well, I mean, my place only had this one, so.
Yeah, my shop too. They didn't have any of the variants. So I think this is one of the worst covers for Something's Killing the Children that I've seen. Just boring.
Wait, you don't like gum?
I don't know. Just a boring cover. The guy in the morgue blowing a bubble, and that's it. I guess. The book is way better than the art.
Okay. Well, I guess I have it already yet, so.
I've never really been disappointed by this run. I think Something's Killing the Children's been really great. I like Erica Slaughter a ton, and the more the comic focuses on her, the more I like it. And this particular arc has been focused on her and her. I hesitate calling it a family, but like the business that she's working with, and I think that's made for a really exciting backstory read for me.
Right. Cool.
I have standards, Old Wolf.
I saw that. I wanted to stop laughing.
Chaos. Chaos is here.
Yeah, right.
Is the occasional 9-9. There you go.
Oh, thank you, man.
Gordal says Gaiman's Preludes is good, but Sandman doesn't pick up until Dollhouse. Gaiman was told after 9 issues that it would likely be canceled, and when it was renewed, he was a little surprised. So when does Dollhouse pick up? Which volume is that? Because this is the first 8 issues, I think, the Preludes and Nocturnes. I'm curious if Sandman, how many issues before Sandman got really good, as they say.
I mean, I always like the Gaiman stuff from the what was it? What was DC's?
I haven't read a ton of Gaiman. Did he do Hellblazer?
No, I mean I'm talking about the Sandman stuff or the Vertigo stuff, right? It was all Vertigo when I was
Gaiman
reading.
did other Vertigo stuff.
Yeah. No, when he was doing Sandman.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Gore says volume 2. So hey, if I half like volume 1, I would promise you, Gore, I will eventually give volume 2 a try, just to keep going with it. Mother Nature is a word I can't say because there's a woman present, and I don't know, and Chad isn't here. That I don't know. Okay, there you go. Hellblazer was by Jimmy Delano. Gaiman wrote one issue of that. Okay, there you go. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that was right there at the beginning of Vertigo that I never read.
Right.
You know, I never read a lot of Hellblazer, although I have like 3 or 4 Hellblazer trades. I never read any Sandman. I read the first 2 volumes of Preacher, never continued on with that.
Right.
There's a bunch of like the early. Sorry, my wife keeps wanting to open and close the door. There's a bunch of early Vertigo that I never got into. I felt like the later stuff is when I really got into it. Let's see here. Okay, so there. Look, you're right on pace with me. Something's Killing the Children. Sea of Sorrows.
I don't think you got this one, so I'll go to this one. This is another one I read. I picked up because of you, Bassett.
I loved issue 1. I should say love. I keep saying loved. I really enjoyed issue 1. I thought it was a little uneven, but I loved the universe and the idea. Have you read this one yet?
Not yet. No, I haven't read any of the new ones. I just did the video today. I'm putting it out tomorrow. I don't read them until I put them on the video and I bag them and then I put them behind me and then I take it for there. I don't read them until I do the video. What I like, and it's gonna sound sick. I mean, it's a bunch of kids, right? Basically, and they get from point A to point B, but they don't hold the punches with the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not, kids are dying on this day, So, and not to sound morbid, I'm liking it because they're not pulling the punches with the kids. Some are gonna make it, some aren't, Then
you're gonna like this issue a ton because it gets bloody pretty quick. Lots of action right off the bat. But I still think the biggest issue is pacing. I feel like they rush some bits and they slow down weird spots. I feel like they still haven't found like a steady pacing to the issues. I just love the universe and the art and the concept enough that I want to stay with it. It's some of the execution that's a little bit choppy. Does that make sense?
Not the part. Then your mouth moved and the words came out.
I was telling my wife to open the door quickly while I had the thing muted because we've a really squeaky front door and it's right there and she keeps going in and out. There he is.
There he is.
Chaos.
Hey.
How's it going, brother?
It's going. How are you guys doing?
All right.
There's a dog. There's a dog.
Charlie's favorite show now.
Yeah.
So are you reading We Live? Did you read issue 1?
I will read We Live. I'll definitely read it in trade. I boycott Aftershock #1s.
Because they're a little more expensive, right?
Yeah, they're $4.99. They're an extra $1 for a little bit of cardboard on the cover. Yeah, but I do like Aftershock.
I also tried out Miskatonic last week.
Yeah, I like that one.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if I like We Live a ton more. I like some of this. The ending was really cool.
I was more excited for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't read either one yet. Both of them will be trade reads, but I was and the solicit. I was more excited for that one, but I don't know which one's better.
Kind of fun, yeah. The idea of this detective, it feels very Stephen King-ish. She's going to this kind of town where some weird things have been happening, and she's a J. Edgar Hoover FBI agent. She's trying to uncover what's happening here. There's some very creepy supernatural deals,
and it's basically history too, because that stuff really did happen, type of thing.
Right? Definitely. Let's see. John, if you come across Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol for cheap in trade or singles, check them out. I think they're classics in the tradition of the original 60s comics. All right. He's leaving for Not Near Mint now. Okay, enjoy it. Transmetropolitan is one of her favorite Vertigo series. I've got the first 2 volumes, and I've read the first one, and I was amazed at how closely related to modern times it is.
Transmetropolitan's also one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Warren Ellis is one of my favorite writers, so his whole deal has been sad.
That's what Jennifer is saying for sure.
Yeah.
Chris Red says John must be spending a lot of time with Drew hating on Hellblazer. I like the character of Constantine. I don't know that I've ever really loved a story with Constantine and been like, wow, this was a great. No, I've always been like, eh. He's like, I don't know. He's like paprika. Like it's really good in dishes, but you don't want so much of it that you're just overpowering the food.
Really?
Yeah. Some people feel about me.
You got the color.
Yeah.
So, is there any? What are some of the favorite indies in the Chaos household these days? What are some of the books that Chaos is loving?
I guess I should have had them.
No, you can just say it out loud. It's fine.
No,
I can't remember them.
Exercise.
So, I'm gonna switch couches where the comics are. Does Rorschach count as an indie?
I don't know. I don't have a black label now.
Too close. Okay.
Hey, Chris, you picked up a book that I can't remember. Death something or other.
Huh? How about this?
Oh, there you go.
So I'm not even a big horror guy, but I've been reading the Ice Cream Mans in the trades as I can get them, and everyone's right. It is great. It might be the best book. I don't know that it's my favorite book, but it might be the best book being written right now. Just a ton of ideas. It's amazing he can have so many ideas and fit them all into one, in single issues, so that's been really good. I'm reading, you've already talked about reading Die and What's in Future. I didn't grab Die today, though. Did you read it?
I did.
Okay.
I got both.
Right?
I'm still getting both covers to finish out issue 15. I've been getting both covers, so this is the last time, and then we'll see how I feel going forward. But this was my favorite issue of this current story. This was a big issue dealing with. I mean, they've been learning about the game, right? They've been learning the history of the game and how it really works, and why none of their methods for winning have ever worked. And yeah. I think this issue in particular reveals why they have been so flawed in their logic up to now, and then sets up the idea or the concept for the next saga or the next plot line. Yeah, the next arc.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for it. I loved it. I love the arc so far. I think it's done great, being subtle at the same time having good hooks at the end.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, but I'm a Kieran Gillen fanboy too. So
I haven't been picking it up for a while, and all of them except one got out of the friggin' game. So have they even talked about how they got out of the game in the first place?
They did. They talked about how they had to defeat what the person they thought was the game master, this person who had the power of the game, and then defeating that individual got them the chance to get out. But one of them, I want to say they were grabbed as they were being pulled out, and as a result was stuck behind when all of the rest of them made it out. And then that individual spent all their time trying to rig the game to get them to come back.
Yeah. And essentially became the Grandmaster too. So,
which I will say that's a big part of this issue is discussing, did we ever really understand the role of the game master and who that person really might have been all along?
Yeah. Let's see. That's great. And I think this is going to be something when it's done. I think it's going to need a reread, but like almost like a community reread, like whoever else has been, not necessarily YouTube community, but that too. But there's just so many underlying themes going through there about like gaming and like on every level, even there was even an issue about the business a little bit. So I'll be excited to read that too once we figure out what Kieran Gillen was doing the whole way. So
yeah, and I don't know if they've set an end point at where they're thinking, because even the letter to the audience at the end of this issue, the letters to the readers at the end doesn't imply that this is the next arc will be the last. So they might have plans beyond issue 20 for where this goes.
They do on his Discord. I'm in his Discord, and he said, I have to. It's hard to find, but someone asked him, and everyone thinks it was just 20 because you could see the 20-sided die on the back. But he said a little bit more than that, and then they referenced that die, and then he just became like mysterious about it, or like, oh, I've said too much already. You know what I mean? So, So who knows, really? With Kieran Gillen, even something like, he's one of like the 5 or 6 authors I just get on for the ride. Even something like his Warhammer 40K book, I'm reading it because he's writing it, kind of thing. So there's a few authors that I just will read everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, and to get the full sphere of what they're doing, So, and then it makes me able to like respect something like Ludocrats, which I probably wouldn't have liked if someone else wrote it. You know what I mean? I read Ludocrats in light of like what Wick did, and in light of a lot of his other stuff. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've never been disappointed, even on the issues that I didn't quite understand or needed to read 3 times to really kind of get, that were just a little dense or a little more choppy. I felt like the art is just so freaking good, and the concept and world are so rich that I just rolled right through, and have really enjoyed it. But I will say there have been times when I couldn't read the new issue because I needed to go back and read 2 issues back just to follow through.
Yeah, that's happened. Just because sometimes it is dense, and he does that every arc. He has that one issue where it's more about a writer.
Yeah.
Right. Charlotte Bronte, and then there was the H.G. Wells. So where they focus on that writer. So that even sometimes makes it more disjointed when you're waiting a month. Yeah. So what were the other writers? So
Tolkien,
J.R. Tolkien, Charlotte Bronte, H.G. Wells, the big piece of that, and there's one other writer I can't remember that was in it. No Shakespeare though, interesting enough, but he's not a gamer. Not a gamer.
No, not that I was aware of.
Not that we know of. Yeah.
Adam, I know where you live, and you're not too old. I'll take you over and eat. Whoa, hey, watch it.
He'll slap you with his 8.6. He's gonna throw away.
Hello, Sharon. Thank you for coming by. How are you doing? We are talking about good indie comics, and talking specifically about Die just for a second. This is the end of the story arc. There's no new issues of Die till April, according to what he's saying here at the back of this book. So we got a good 6 months gap ahead of us, which I'm not looking forward to, but we'll see if it spurns me to buy 2 issues again when it comes back around. We'll see where my wallet is in 6 months.
Yeah, well, so at least I always plan this. I got to go do a reread. I have to do a read. I actually haven't finished Wick Div yet, so I don't know why I would reread Die if I haven't finished Wick Div. Did you guys read this from a few? I know it's on like number 2 or 3. Did you guys read this?
I never did. No.
I heard good things. Yeah, it's a good first issue, but I'm afraid. So I'm not even a horror guy. I've just read 2 horror books, but I'm afraid that it'll be like what for me, The Plot, which is also a Vault book, and Red Mother, which a lot of people like. I'm afraid that, like, even though I liked the first issues, that it's just gonna like do the same thing again, like just be mood. And after the 4th issue, I get sick of that mood. But the coloring and the art here is beautiful. I mean, obviously autumnal. It's supposed to be autumn, but like that art.
Oh, nice.
And the coloring just works throughout, like has that sort of that sort of autumn haze throughout it and stuff. So the first issue is great. I don't know. I'm afraid of the rest of the issues though. So I have issue number 2 floating around here somewhere.
Well, I've heard good things, and they've just dropped the second issue. You said, right?
Maybe the 3rd came out because I'm getting these mail orders. So if I have number 2, that means number 3 was on its way to like stores. So yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because I have not. I've missed out on that one when it first came out. But it's that's not Zdarsky. Who's that one?
No, it's not even a famous author.
Oh, okay.
Krause.
Oh, Krause.
Krause. Daniel Krause. So not even a super famous author. Are you reading any? I know that you were looking into something more than Boom and Image, John. Did you start?
I've got some Boom, some IDW, some Image, some Aftershock.
Oh yeah, Aftershock.
So I mean, a little bit of some things I've tried. The problem is when it comes to like Mad Cave, Vault, and Scout, my LCS does not consistently get them.
Scout's out. Yeah.
I think they feel like they don't sell that well, and so they kind of hold back. And I tend to have to go hunting for some of those.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a pain. Like I wanted to keep reading a few. Thankfully, Jennifer's in the chat a little bit ago. She's hooking me up with issue 2 of It Eats What Feeds It, because I've got issues 1 and 3, but I couldn't get 2. And I enjoyed issue 1 of Stargazer, but I was not able to find any of the follow-up issues to that.
Yeah. It Eats What Feeds Them is what inspired Scout. They're going to have a big gap now between their issue number 1s. So what happened with It Eats What Feeds Them is that the number 1 came out. You know, it got ordered reasonably well, probably for their, for what they do for number 1s. It sold out right away, but no one knew it, and then they under ordered issue number 2. So issue number 2 is like somewhat rare. Gotcha. So now what they're going to do is, if a comic comes out in July, let's say, the number 2 isn't going to come out till September, maybe October, but I think September. So there's going to be a bigger gap between the number 1 and number 2, so that stores can reorder it. If something like It Eats What Feeds Them, yeah.
I want Frank on the farm. My LCS did not get Frank at Home on the Farm, so I'm missing that for sure.
Okay, so I might be getting that because I told the guy from the LCS if it's any good, throw it in my folder.
There you go.
What is it about? Because
the synopsis for Frank at Home on the Farm is a soldier comes home from World War II, I believe, to like his family farm, and his family's gone. All the animals are there, the farm is there, but the family is gone, and there's sort of some strange supernatural things happening. Something along the lines of a Jacob.
Is there a spider making some?
I didn't hear about a spider. For me, the synopsis read like Jacob's Ladder. Like you can't tell if he died in the war and he's coming home like a ghost.
Oh, okay.
If he's not able to remember things. Wait a second. This is crazy. If he start, dude, I just don't want to hear any crazy sound effects or visual effects.
What do you mean?
That's a sound effect right there.
Oh man, I just finished watching a movie or a TV show, and I go on my Instagram. I'm like, oh look, there's a StreamYard link. What is John talking about?
Talking about independent comics, man. I know you haven't been reading your books lately, but you've been buying them.
I did. I finally finished Last Ronin.
Oh,
that was really good. I liked it. I'm looking forward to the second one.
I still haven't even read it yet. I haven't read my copy yet.
It was pretty good. It got a little dark towards the end. I was like, oh shit! Like, I didn't expect it to like get that dark. I was like, oh no. But no, it was pretty good.
Chris,
go ahead, Tony.
I Phantom Star Killer.
Oh yeah,
that one.
No.
There you go. Is it any good?
It's pretty stupid.
Is it?
The art's good if you want to look at. If you want to look at the art, it's like I don't know if you've read Space Riders.
Yeah,
it's like if Space Riders sucked.
The guy who did the guy who does Space Riders lives in my town.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he goes to my LCS. He's really cool.
Alex Zertic or Alex something like that. So
I don't know his name. He has this very distinctive art though.
Yeah, he does. Space
Big
Rider
word,
is great.
Harry.
Space Rider is really fun to watch, really fun to
I'm
read.
trying with the.
Distinctive.
Hey man, I'm watching
like
movies and they're saying big words and I'm just repeating it.
He just says Perry's here. Rob Worst's channel's looking really good right now.
What do you mean? DJ doesn't like me, dude. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Do I need to take the shirt off or no?
Jennifer liked it. Space Riders.
It is really good.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Space Riders?
I have not.
No.
Read it.
I mean, I know you've read it. I know you've seen it, Perry. We've talked about it. Yeah, Space Riders is this Phantom Star Killer in that book by the cartoonist kayfabe guys tried to be space killers, but space riders, but there's only one Space Riders, and it's like a mushroom trip, sort of.
In
Yeah,
a very good way.
yeah.
Tell us, Perry. Really?
Yeah, it's like a mushroom trip.
In a good way.
But a good trip.
So then, Perry, what is the best indie that you're reading these days? What's that indie that you're like, oh, I'm looking forward to the new issue of blah 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 blah?
There's not a lot of indies I'm reading are kind of like short series. So I would have to say the best one I'm reading so far is tied between Gideon and Oblivion Song. Like those are I know Oblivion Song took a little bit of a dip, but I've still been enjoying it. That and Gideon Falls. But I'm reading that one in trade.
Okay.
I
know you're a big Usagi Yojimbo. That's coming back here soon.
Oh yeah.
You're laughing at this, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
We don't. That's not this show, PJ. That's not the show.
Old Wolf's ready to go.
Lobo went from being a hot doo-doo water character to being cool. I don't know that he ever transitioned yet, but I'm still waiting. So Old Wolf, what are some of the indies you've been enjoying? What are some of those indie publisher books you've been loving? Grendel, Kentucky.
Grendel.
Yep. Actually, I'm enjoying
that
it.
one.
This is good. I'm
I
enjoying
like
it.
number one. I like number one.
You like number one? I'm glad. I also like number. Well, I can't say I like number two. That doesn't sound right. But number three is.
I'm always happy for a good number two.
Yeah.
Oh.
I drove home from work today to get a good number two, and then went back to work.
You went home, taking number two, and you went back to work.
Look at this show. Look at this show.
Yeah,
Oh
like-
man.
I'm gonna reload here because this is where we're going.
Oh, you drinking whiskey, John?
Yes, sir.
I've been drinking
Yeah,
whiskey in a
yeah,
long.
yeah.
I've been drinking White Claws.
I don't
yeah.
know why people let me on their shows. I always tend to go bring it down a notch. I don't know why.
White Claw? What the heck is wrong with you?
It's
Don't knock a white claw.
delicious.
Don't knock
You
a
really
white
are
claw.
from
It'll
Jersey,
get
aren't
in
you?
your ass real quick.
Look, I'll drink whiskey till I'm under the table and cough up a boot. Everybody knows that. But White Claw it's really refreshing.
It's refreshing. You know what's good? What's the
Cocaine.
hard lemonade. It's
It's not.
hard lemonade.
Oh, Mike's Hard Lemonade,
Oh, yeah, get the harder one though.
the harder one. It's gotta be.
It's 8% alcohol, and it's really good.
I need to try it. I don't think I've tried that one.
Yikes.
You gotta
White
get,
Claw is the law.
you get-
There it is. He's
There
doing
you
it. There you go. Yeah, no, I feel like this is a fun time. I'm trying something out, and I was test driving. So I've monetized my channel. This is the first
I know. I clicked on it
Really?
and I seen an ad. I was like, "You son of a gun!"
I thought you were never going to do that.
I wasn't going to, and on Monday night I'll announce kind of why I did it. But there's several reasons. One of which is YouTube is changing its rules, by the way. And I just got an email today that said even if you're not part of its monetized system, it can start putting ads on your content whenever it wants.
I
And
think
I'll
they've
look
been
at-
doing that. I think they've been doing that, and legally they have to say it now.
That's BS because
Or they-
one of my things is I don't want ads on my stuff, and if I'm not getting paid, and they're gonna put ads on my stuff and not pay me, that ain't cool. That's not cool.
You got to pay for all those CGC submissions.
Right. So Monday though, I'll explain a little bit about why I'm doing it. But I was curious if anybody can see if obviously Perry can see the commercials, then yeah, I guess it's showing up.
I can't. I have premium. I've never seen an ad on YouTube unless I'm on someone else's account.
There you go.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
it's
you
too
still
much
get
Spotify.
YouTube. You get YouTube Premium revenue. If someone with YouTube Premium watches your video, it counts like an ad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's good.
Everyone
So
knows.
you my $9.99 a month. You made 14 cents.
I'm so appreciative. Yeah,
It's refreshing.
I will say the cover of the week for me though is this bad boy from Once and Future.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
That I wanted that one. I saw that one. I
This is
have it.
beautiful balls.
In this one.
I was so pumped that I was able to find one at my shop and not to worry about it because I was like, holy, I don't know what this artist was tripping on, but it's gorgeous. It's creepy and messed up and awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I don't give myself a good chance of getting that cover when I go tomorrow to my other LCS.
Well, I know some people that don't like it because they can't tell what book it is by looking at it. You're like, I don't know what book this is. Like, what is it? You gotta like pull the backing board up and check. Like, oh, it's issue 13 of whatever.
But it does that a lot too.
It's starting a new arc in Once and Future, setting up some new British literature for them to invade. I think it's been pretty funny, and is
it ongoing?
Yeah, it's ongoing. It's issue 13, I think.
It's either 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can find out for you. Hold on.
It's like Folklords, except it doesn't stop.
Cover is the WAP.
Except it doesn't suck.
It doesn't stop. I like Folklords. Who hated Folklords? Someone was giving Perry crap about Folklords.
I love Folklords.
No, someone was giving you crap. Not me. I liked it too.
Oh, it was.
I didn't hate it. I just got bored with it. I enjoyed
it. I felt like I was on an adventure. And then they transitioned into New York, and the back of the comic was a map that was ever growing. Come on.
That's an adventure and a half because it kept growing.
Chaos has premium YouTube, but can't afford to get his comics on time.
I only have one premium account.
I just prefer to. I prefer the 35% off from the online LCS, and I just get them 3 weeks later.
There you go. Well, and I think if you don't have an LCS near you that you really appreciate or get along with, or that really values you as a customer, then I can totally understand that.
Well, I have like 3 that value me as a customer and like me. I just want 35% off. I just did the math.
Hard to argue with the math.
Yeah.
So I've only got 2 indies left, and they were from last week. Anybody have some this week that they want to discuss, or should we just keep rolling?
I just already went already.
No, I only have X-Men. Oh wait, this has been pretty cool.
Which one?
I think only me and maybe Trinity are reading Sarah and the Royal Stars. I haven't read this issue yet, but this is really good. Dips into the last issue was like a big info dump. I started to get a more clear picture of what it is, but dips into like Persian and Gnostic mythology. Is really what it's sort of doing. Like that's an untouched little area for doing a fantasy book. This is also Vault Comics. So, I mean, this is one that, like you said, John, like most comic stores won't really hold these. You know, I mean, you got to have it in your box. You have to know that you like it and like commit to the 3 issues so your comic store doesn't get not, killed with it. But this has been really good. I thought it's been up and down. I think the writer's found himself now. So hopefully we'll get around to it.
Yeah, I think for me, the struggle has been my LCS gets a lot of indie stuff. They just, for whatever reason, Scout and Vault and Mad Cave are the 3 that they're most inconsistent with. They've been getting every Boom Studios book. They're getting tons of covers. They've always been a big image shop. The LCS owner is addicted to Image, loves Image, so they pump that a bunch.
Yeah,
and IDW, they've always got a bunch of IDW stuff. Aftershock, he's always enjoyed. So for me, it's just those others that I'm always trying to find copies of.
Yeah, and it's weird because if you just were on like YouTube comic community stuff, you'd think Mad Cave and Boom were like bigger than Image. Like people just talk about them nonstop. It seems like.
And that new one, that AWA, I feel like every
yeah.
title that comes out for that is like people go nuts for it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's selling normal.
But you don't see, yeah. I don't go to I haven't seen one AWA book at my shop yet.
Yeah, I see the number ones. They're okay. Those books are clearly, and this is okay to do this, but those books are clearly storyboards.
Sure.
For movies or shows later.
And does that bother you? Because I tell you, it doesn't really bother me if it's done well. Like I don't know that it bugs me. I know it bugs some people if they feel like this is a show or a movie. It doesn't feel
Who
like
else does that?
Yeah, but that's where their money is. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't bother
Scout
me.
does
But
that too.
What bothers me is the word indie. It doesn't bother me, but if that becomes the only thing that's coming out, you know what I mean? And then people, like, I think Decorum is this great book that could only be a comic book. Like, it's so art driven, you know, the story is pretty simple actually, but you could just sit and stare at this art and the weird things that Hickman's doing, you know, that's like a comic for comic's sake. So like, does it bother me? No, but like I could see it from a mile away, you know, and it's less about the art. It's more about, you know, we're the testing ground, you know, and if Grendel, Kentucky or Year Zero becomes a movie, you know, we've literally paid more money than it costs to see the movie for it. Like,
true.
You know, so no, it doesn't bother me, but it's like, it's happening a lot more, I think. So, yeah. And so is our comic storyboards for movies, or are they their own medium? That's like the focus. So I try to like support the crazy stuff. So even then, like, I almost feel bad about talking about Phantom Starkiller like that, because this is really just an art driven book. You know, like you'd open it and you'd enjoy the art. The story is very simple. You know, it's not as creative as maybe Decorum or anything like that, but there's like fewer of those and a lot more, you know, a lot more guy from LA with his screenplay, and he just made a comic.
Which I know, like the writing form of a comic and a show or a movie can be different. But comics are just as episodic as a television show. So I know that some people feel like it cheapens comics when it feels like beat for beat a TV series versus its own narrative structure. So I understand, but it never really bugged me.
Yeah, if it's good, it's good at the end of the day.
It's animation. All right. So I'm checking with some friends because apparently I thought I had it all set up right, but the super chat thing's not working. So like the little system still isn't set up right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'll have to go in later and check my settings. Some people buzzing me like, why can't I super chat if you monetize? I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure it out.
I picture John inside of a computer with a wrench. Like, where is this super chat at?
Eating a sandwich and it's like dripping everywhere.
What's this question? I don't even get this.
Which question?
Chaos, I know you like Sarah, but do you have any other small untouched areas?
You said that Sarah was a small untouched area, and I
got you.
wondering if you had
the mythology. I got it.
That's why you were cracking up, laughing, old Wolf. I'm like, why is old Wolf died? He's like, he says something funny in his head.
Yeah, plenty of small areas, but none of them are untouched.
Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, here's another one I'm really enjoying. We only find them when they're dead. This is last week had issue 3, which was my favorite issue that they've done so far. I felt like the show. Now here I'm stuck. The series was really light on character, and that kind of bugged me. That they never really give you enough information on who these characters are. I can't even remember names of characters. They're so like indistinct for me. Wow. But this issue I felt like gave me more character, and I was enjoying and getting used to the personalities of the various hero characters in the comic. But I still think it's just super heavy on like mood and setting and light on character. And that's still frustrating me a little bit.
Yeah, am I the only other one that's reading that book? Yeah.
I haven't.
I like the concept a lot, which is going to make me stick with it. I've read 1 and 2, but I'll wait for trade now. One of the things that I think affects, because there's a lot of characters, so I always give a little leeway when there's a bunch of characters and it's an indie book like that.
Okay.
So I don't expect to really know them, especially when he's not really super focused on one except for the captain.
Right.
But I think a lot of what happens, where that's coming from, is that the art is really, really dark. Like,
Yeah.
it's not light enough at all. And there is, I've mentioned this on other shows. If you go to Comixology and go to the like the sample pages that you can see, it's pardon the pun, but it's night and day. Like, the art is so vibrant and beautiful when there's a backlight behind it. And it feels like someone just turned down that, like, the contrast. They just like.
It's funny because I was taking like an online class because I have like a tablet. I enjoy coloring, and what the first thing they teach you is coloring. Is if you're gonna color for a comic or anything that's publishing, you have to figure out how they're printing it, because the colors on the screen don't translate to the printer.
So, then he takes a sip of White Claw.
I mean,
Do you see within the lines? I mean, are they washable?
So Perry,
are they? I mean, you have the crayon box with the sharpener in the back.
hey, it's really fun coloring, man.
You think it's funny he's coloring? I mean, you read comic books. I can understand if you were an old
He's
wolf
on an
manga
online
reader.
class for coloring. I just want to make sure he's
Okay, well, it's all right. It's not like coloring in. Like, first you have to do your flats, and then once you get all your flats done, then you have to go and re-render them, and then add like your lights and your shadowing, and it's a little more in depth than getting some Crayola markers and fucking coloring in the lines.
Is it a virtual coloring book, or is it they sending you the coloring book in the mail, and then you just have to do it like a Zoom conference and where everyone colors in the coloring book? And
No, it's kind of like it's not even like an online class. It's just kind of like this guy teaching you how he's like a comic book artist, and he teaches you how to color, and I just sit there and pay attention like I'm in school.
Do you ever color outside the lines just to be a rebel?
No, because how you do it, you go inside of the lines.
Oh, is that how you do it? Thanks. John, do you have that book? Can you open number 3 up?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a full page spread, I think, in number 3 where you could just see the lights. It's a double page spread in there. It should be this huge ship and this beautiful, like, space background, like Sea of Stars does, and like you would literally see like 2 lights in there. Is that it right there? Are you looking at it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Look at this coloring, Perry. What would you have done differently here?
Is it this one?
Yeah, that actually doesn't look that bad. Maybe that's not what I was talking about. Maybe it's in number 2. But even that's too dark. Even that's very dark.
Yeah, but the guy did stay within the lines, so that's
that is good. I'm proud of him for that.
Let me see if there's another one that I didn't. There's another one here. It's kind of fainter.
Oh, that's the one I was talking about. Like, what? That's a full page spread right there. That's what they waste the full page spread on. And it's not a ship. It's a god's face.
Oh yeah, I see 2 eyes in a mouth
right there.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, it's just very
dark,
obscured. You know, if you look at some of these pages though digitally, they look really good, like very vibrant. You know, because there's a backlight behind them, and you can almost tell.
I did the art style.
That looks like a Lego.
It looks like a Lego.
So, Chris, you said you picked up the 2, and now you're gonna wait for the trade.
Yeah, I'll buy the trade. I meant to only pick up issue number 1, but
how do you do that? How do you do it? Well, I know how you do that, but I'm like, you buy the first one, you buy the second one. If you keep it, you like it, you buy the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. How do you stop and then just buy a trade? I don't understand that.
So my intention is really to buy issue number 1, and sometimes I buy issue number 2 also. So I mean, part of that premium is like I'm on YouTube a lot and I'm talking about new stuff a lot. Like, that's really the only reason I did it. But I'm feeling more and more ripped off by my comics. And that's with me thinking most of them are cool enough to read or whatnot. You know, so I'm feeling a little bit more ripped off by them. So I'm reading the number 1s. I really would have to dislike a number 1 to not get the trade, since really number 1s are the solicit, you know, with a, you know, except for the hook at the end or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have been finding that, and I've mentioned this on John's show here before and in comments, I've been finding that I enjoy there's a much more likelihood that I'll enjoy the comic if I read the whole arc at once instead of just trying to rate it issue to issue. And I think my big example is in the book that I reviewed with John here and Alec on this show is if you read Southern Bastards, the first issue, you would think it was one of the most generic things you ever read. Like if you just go and look at what the first issue is, he just shows up at his old town and, you know, you'd think it was really generic, you know, but, you know, John, me and Alec all loved the first trade, right? We all liked it a lot. So I just found more enjoyment that way. And it's actually cheaper at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, it's just that when I started doing the wall of combustible paper back there,
yeah,
the trades were something. Really, trades weren't that big. It was kind of, you know, and you got issue to issue, so now that's your collection. You know, so it's changed from where you want to get the whole run to, well, you wait for the, you know, they take 6 stories and they stick in a book and then there you go. So it's just, I'm still in the mainframe there. You get issue after issue, and not the trade.
Yeah, I mean, you've done it traditionally, and I'm still going to buy single issues and maybe the thing I collect. You know what I mean? Like, I grab anything with Alan Moore's name on it in single issue, so I'll still do that, but maybe just not as new. And I think that just the superhero stuff works better that way. You know, like. I mean, Claremont's a good example, even though I'm not the biggest Claremont fan. Claremont's a good example where every individual issue was its own issue, you know, and gave you a couple pages to get you to the next issue. There was no 6-issue arcs, really. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like the sagas and a lot of the storylines that we know, like actually were introduced 5 issues before, and then he went and, you know what I mean? So I think for superhero stuff, it does. Like traditionally, I like it. But if I'm spending a lot of money now, you know, and I find enjoyment going to the comic store every day or every Wednesday, right? Or a couple times a week, I definitely find enjoyment doing that, grabbing new books, talking about on YouTube. That's why I'm here, right? But the actual reading, like the reading, it's more likely I feel I like it if I read the arc, you know. And then I also know too, you know, like they made like a lot of fun of this book on this show, you know, and I read number 2 and number 3, and I mean, I bought them accidentally, but I was like, this is an okay action book, you know. It's like, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I
mean, like now, I mean, especially with indies, miniseries. I mean, before miniseries were something special, you know, something was something, you know, it was like, here's your series, and there's a mini series on the side. And with the indies, I guess everything's a mini series, and they stick it in a book, or they make a series in a mini series where they got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. And I'm sorry.
What they say? What happened?
Oh, bearded. That was a good one.
Have you watching your color? Yeah.
No, his last one about Old Wolf.
Not a budget.
What is happening?
I don't. I'm so sorry. All right, I'll just sit here and just. I'm sorry.
No, trades are great.
Nothing to be sorry. I get what Chris is saying. Like for me, I love Image 9.99 trades are a steal, and there's a ton of great books that I've read in the last 2 years since I started doing YouTube that are almost exclusively Image, because I tried trade 1, enjoyed it, and then was able to dive into the rest of the series. Southern Bastards and Descender being probably the cream of that crop, and I think it's fun to be able. For me, I'm a reader before I was a collector, and that's been the fun part of this. Is I feel like the best reads are in independent comics right now. As much as I love, Chris and I could probably talk Ten of Swords all night and have a blast doing it.
We're gonna.
And we will probably soon, because it's only next week and then it's all done. I I just find the trades for independent comics is phenomenal, and it's the best way to go because you're going to get a good story. You're going to pay $10, and for image trades, that's just you're getting a ton of story for that $10.
Yeah, and to be clear, I was talking about indie trades. I guess I missed that. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Spider-Man trade, they're so expensive. They're like almost $20 to get like 5 issues. Like if you were trying to buy Spider-Man in trade, it's more expensive than those image. It's more expensive than volume 2s and 3s like that of Image and stuff. So
there's been a ton of times where I wanted to read a certain story arc, you know, whether it was, you know, Old Man Hawkeye or something, whatever it was. And I wanted, actually, when I was trying to do a show at one point with Old Man Hawkeye or Old Man Quill, and I was like, oh, I'll buy a trade for somebody. And those 2 6-issue trades were like $50 through any website I found. But I could go on eBay and buy the 12 issues from somebody and pay $30 shipped for the actual comics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marvel trades are stupid expensive.
Right.
Yeah, they're silly. They're silly. And then their hardcovers they don't keep in print, right? So then they get way out of whack. DC at least keeps theirs in print. I don't often, you know, say good things about Marvel or bad things about Marvel and good things about DC, but I will. Oh man,
I very rarely buy a trade from Marvel anymore. Sometimes I'll buy. They're doing the Jason Aaron Thor collected volumes, like and I'll buy those. Technically, they're trades, but they're like the super sized trades.
Are they on a hardcover or
no? They're not hardcovers.
I might get the hardcovers when they come out. See, that 35% though off is very important. Like I bought the Absolute Carnage hardcover because it was 35% off.
But like for the most part, I'm just gonna buy the issues and read them that way, and then. If I love it, maybe a hardcover down the line, like I'm doing with these Claremont X-Men. Omnibuses are stupid expensive.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're not. Do the per page cost. You just gotta put the money out. Yeah.
Well, and now my LCS gets them and I pay like $75 at my LCS, and they get them like 2 weeks before they're supposed to release from Amazon or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, if you do the page,
$35 though,
it is a solid like
good chunk
expensive comic that you could buy, but you're getting an Omni instead.
It's like 30 issues.
Economical.
It is. Well, actually, this one I think is 40. Volume 1 of the Claremont run is 40 issues. Because what is it? It's 3, 6. It's 7 across, 5 down is 35. Terry, that's a math problem. I just dropped a comic, and then there you go.
There you go.
All right, how much is it?
This one was $75 for 40 comics.
Wow, for 40 comics. But if they do the dollar reprints and you buy all 40 issues, you get it for $40.
But
I'm saying hypothetically.
Yeah,
if you buy all the True Believers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but if you buy I bought the first issue of the Days of Past True Believers. John Mint. There you go.
That's where your super chat money is going to go when it eventually happens.
Yeah. Omnibuses are. Here's the problem, though, and I'm going to talk crap about trades and especially omnibuses. The problem is gutter loss. Right. So gutter loss is that they're a book and they were originally made to be in a magazine, and like full page spreads don't look as good in them.
Okay.
Right. So you got to look at some books, if you can open them at the store, they're mostly in cellophane. If you can open them at the store, it's nice to see that. Claremont's different because he writes everything he draws is inside, or Byrne draws almost everything inside of a panel. So that works really well in omnibus form. Well, there's an exception. See, that looks great.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah, that looks great.
Looks nice, John. It does.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes you lose that in the middle, right? So you have to be careful with that, or you just don't care, right? But I was going to read Decorum in trade, and that first issue is filled with like double page spreads and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna that's not going to look great, you know.
Trying to find a good splash page here.
Yeah, it is mostly panels, though. He mostly does stuff in panel.
Yeah, he stays inside the panel. I mean, he does go out of the panel in between frames.
But he does color within the lines.
But
Yeah.
he does go within the lines.
Yeah. You don't want to get any purple Sentinel on your yellow Wolverine suit.
It won't look good. No, not
Yeah.
good at all.
Get the
There you go.
That's on one page.
Yeah, I was looking for more
So,
spread.
so
Here's a classic spread page for you.
There you go. And that actually looks really good. You could see that. You could see Cyclops' beam go right across. So
I was looking
sometimes
at Colossus's two butt cheeks, one on each side.
you imagine if the colors touched from character to character, that wouldn't look the same. It wouldn't at all. I mean, staying within the lines is very important.
it is. You just look like a.
They have black outlines. They have black strokes around their body.
Now we're talking about strokes, huh?
Oh,
I mean, there's tons of strokes on that page.
are they long strokes or short strokes with the black?
It depends. Sometimes they're
different
long,
folks.
short, in between.
Oh, okay.
This channel's called
Okay.
John's Comics with Kids, not John's Comics with Pervs.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, there's no purse. We're talking about art here. He's taking a
John.
special class for coloring. Come on.
free class.
John's comics with adults who act like kids.
With spreading those cheeks.
Now that's more accurate, probably.
Yeah.
Jennifer says, I almost never buy DC or Marvel trades at full price. Wait until they're available used. My LCS is great about this. They have an entire section of the shop that's like 50% off trades.
Cool.
So it's always
Sounds
full.
great.
They're not like they're not dog-eared and crumpled or anything like that. They look perfectly brand new, and I buy a ton of trades that way from them. So I'm
Yeah.
always just cruising through to see like what new Batman trades or indie trades or whatever that they have an entire run of Walking Dead. Like if you wanted to read Walking Dead and buy all the trades for 50% off, my LCS has all of them.
Oh, maybe I'll go buy them in November.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, they've always seemed to have Walking Dead. I'm always like, I don't give a crap, but like, it's nice that you got them. There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
yeah.
actually give a crap about Walking Dead. Although the colored version, I heard they're staying in the lines. That's coming out now.
Actually, I colored The Walking Dead issue #1 before they released the colored version. I think my colors look a little bit better, but I'm just not trying to. brag.
Oh,
Did you get
Hey,
graded on it?
Okay.
Huh?
Perry paid $800.
Your teacher give you
Freaking Perry keeps forwarding the link here. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
There he is! Woo!
Go to bed, you guys.
I'm about to wrap up this show. What are you doing?
That's what I said. I'm like, I keep Old Wolf keeps hounding me to get on. I'm like, John's literally gonna wrap up the show.
Why you
I am.
rub it with- what? It's
I got
like
one. I only have one indie left to talk about. So unless Bearded,
Oh, I haven't-
maybe Greg's got a bunch of indies we haven't talked about yet.
all
I
right,
have a
we're
whole-
all night. We're here all night. Let's go. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Bearded, how was that interview?
It was really good.
It was. I gotta watch it.
We talked about that. You guys talked about Grendel, Ice Cream Man, Once in Future,
Ooh,
Stillwater.
You got that once in future cover. Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Water.
Stillwater was really good. I'm enjoying the world that they've created.
I don't know if I could. I skipped recount because I legitimately was like, I don't need to read this book right. I can't manage this. I can't handle that right now.
Bad Mother, Sea of Sorrows,
Yeah, I enjoyed Sea of Sorrows.
Dead Day,
Some people like it a lot.
Shadow Service, and
Hey,
then
what did you think about Something's Killing the Children
A
cover?
Girl Who Walks
I
Home
think
Alone.
that's something.
I got
Killing the
that.
Children cover is one of my least favorite covers they've ever done. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Sorry, he still doesn't want to be focused.
That
way.
last one.
What?
Pull up the last one.
Girl, I got that too.
I sell that like for like big money, though it's a reprint of something from some.
So it was this is from Behemoth Comics, or a smaller indie company. It is a comic that's based off it was I think it was Iranian movie about vampires, basically a girl vampire who would just kill the scum of her town, that was preying on like the vulnerable people in the city, and
like
they
Dexter.
just turned it into a comic.
Like Dexter.
But people actually paying that's a reprint, basically, of a book from
Europe.
6 years ago.
Oh,
And they're like basically, and people are trying to sell that for $30 on eBay. And you can like just go to the LCS and pick it up off the shelf. I mean, what the hell is that?
not really. No LCS is holding that on the shelf, really.
Well,
Yeah.
they can order it. They still can order it.
They could have ordered it. Yeah, I got it. It's just coming in mail order.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean, my LCS had like 25, or not 20. They probably had like 10 copies of that when I got it on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I mean, if you look on eBay, it's going for 25 or 30, which I think those are inflated numbers just from the idea that Behemoth is such a small company that so many, like some shops that are on it, like my LCS was one of the first ones that they did a comic book review talking about the comics of Behemoth. And that's how I kind of got exposed to them and started to pick up some of theirs, like some of their other titles. I forget what I'm even, but like
How
found
about that one, Necromorphous?
yeah, Necromorphous, which we've talked about, which was really, it's kind of like in the vein of Chew.
Yeah.
You guys are so alike now. You know, let me do this. Let me there you go. Side by side.
Dagon.
Cardinal Dragon. Yeah, Dagon.
Put the
Cardinal
yarn
Dagon.
man up on top.
That's Behemoth.
Did you get found footage a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I did. Did you?
I did. So
Yeah, that's good. Found footage, really good.
let me show you guys that one. That's cool.
What's going on here? This is the way it should be.
This is a show. So
Yeah.
this is a really cool. It's they did it as a VHS comic, so to compare it into comic size. And they made it look like a VHS tape because it's all about surveillance and video camera tapes, and it was really cool. So
Did you read it yet?
I did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I accidentally bought the I thought that the anniversary edition. So I actually have two.
Oh, did you get the?
Yeah, it's just signed and has the stupid suicide note. It's not worth the extra $5.
Right.
So I got them both. So I'll probably send one to Cole. Cole thought it was pretty cool when I showed it.
I
so.
appreciate it.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah. I mean, what are you doing back? Why are these guys coming back?
This is what Chaos and I do. We just take over people's streams and make them better.
Yeah.
Oh, make it better.
We do. Ratings went up.
Did it?
Oh, God. You guys belong
Everyone's
together.
wife,
You guys are-
everyone's
you
wife
guys are
started to
perfect
watch.
together. All right, I'll do my last book and then we'll see where we go. I was interested in this Scarin' Hood issue 1. So this is the artist from Ice Cream Man, and it's. I will say I didn't love issue 1. I know issue 2 drops next week. I think next week issue 2. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get an issue 2. It's very cartoony.
It is.
I did not love the art style a whole bunch. I liked the idea, like the dad and the daughter, like the relationship between the father and the kid cracked me up. But the art style kept throwing me off. Like I was like, I don't know if I can enjoy this for the long term.
Well, I think with that one, it almost makes it like it lessens the seriousness of what's going through. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. Like I think for some it might, for others like it doesn't come off as a straight like horror comic because of the cartoon style a little bit more. But man, those relationships between the dad and daughter, like
Those are the moments that
you
seal
feel it. Like you're like, yeah, man, I've been through those days.
Behemoth the band is okay. Seen them a couple times. They that's funny that you say that. I didn't realize that I have that book coming. I haven't read it yet. I didn't realize it was the artist from Ice Cream Man. Last night when I was reading Ice Cream Man, I was like, oh man, I've just typecasted this. I have to go find something else that this artist drew because I think I've typecasted him. You know, Al Bundy had to work really hard for me not to just see him in other shows and think Al Bundy.
Well, I mean,
You know?
And I've never read Ice Cream Man, so I don't know if his style is always very cartoony. So I've never. This just felt excessive. Like, let me just pull out.
If you compare,
it's off-putting here. It's so off-putting the way he draws in this book. It's cartoony,
Yeah.
but like you know the stories are so weird, and then his facial expressions, which are cartoony, are so weird. It's off-putting.
It's like a
So that's
Disney
why I think that I may have hyped
Yeah.
it.
but I will say, John's right. I think Scarent Hood, the cartoon style, is more of a Disney animation style more than even Ice Cream Man.
Really?
Yep.
So you didn't yeah, that looks way more. That looks like yeah, that looks like a cartoon.
kid's
That doesn't
book.
look anything. Is that so
Yeah.
that's literally Morazzo? That's the name of the artist?
Chris O'Halloran.
Martin Morazzo?
No, that's color. Sorry, story and art by Nick Roach. The thing I read had said that it was by the guy that did.
Papa Roach.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Maybe I read something that wasn't true.
I didn't know this is the Fox News channel, John.
Right?
John's Breitbart with kids.
Oh my god.
One America News.
John called the comic for Ice Cream Man and now is retracting.
This is information I got on Parlor.
It is back to a gray comic.
You got the information on Parlor.
I got this on Parlor. Does that not equate?
What's a
Yeah.
parlor?
It's
Parlor is Parlor's Twitter for right wingers.
Oh.
Parlor is Twitter
this
for
is-
people that don't want facts to bother them.
Yeah. So this is Ice Cream Man art. It doesn't look anything like that, although it is
Yeah.
cartoon.
So the thing
Right.
I read said it was the art.
That's totally different.
So I must have read the wrong info because it said that it was art by, but this looks like art. This said that the interior of this says art and story by Nick Roach, who did Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows. I felt exactly the same way. I don't even know that it would work better in a trade. It just felt a little too cartoony for me. So I'm going to probably skip on the second one.
Oh, give it a chance.
Oh, racist.
Give it a chance.
Oh shit.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're like cutting the legs underneath it without even looking at it. You just like give it a chance.
That's why I read it in trade. That's why I read it.
Again, there you go with the trade. I don't understand these things.
Well,
How a trade works is there's comics that come out every so often, and then once a certain amount come out, they collect them into a book, like so, and those are called trades, and you can
Wow.
pick those up for a certain amount of price and not have to buy them individually.
You should make
Old book
videos
says-
like that
Old-
or
Old book
TikToks
says
like that.
trades.
That was a
Oh,
great
Trades, I'll just
explanation.
send you an AOK.
That was like so
I
perfectly
appreciate
clean.
that. What I don't understand is you buy issue 1. Oh, I picked up issue 2. I wasn't going to pick up issue 1, but I picked up issue 2. I like the series, so I'm going to buy the friggin' trade. I don't understand that. Why don't you just buy 3, 4, and 5?
I
because
like doing that for indies because indies aren't worth shit after the first issue. So if I like the first or second, I'm like, cool. I'll wait for the trade. That costs what, a couple bucks instead of just, and then you have to wait like a month to get the book. I'm like, I just want to sit there. Imagine putting on Lord of the Rings and pausing it every 15 minutes and coming back a week later and watching it. It makes no sense. You might as well just
This
wait
is not a
for the
reaction
whole
video,
story to come.
Harry. This is not a
Harry's
reaction
I'm just
video.
saying.
Harry's explaining why it's so hard for him to edit Lord of the Rings reaction videos.
Yeah. He goes, I
really
literally
hard.
watched it like that.
It's 9 hours.
I
don't
can
wanna do this
explain,
anymore.
and I can explain to you how to pronounce all those names if you want.
Mordecai. What's the fucking more
Mordor.
Mordor.
I think you
Mordor.
had a stroke that time and you tried to like, oh,
Think of it this way, Perry. Imagine you went to your favorite whorehouse, but the door is really tiny. You want more door.
Mordor. Mordor's the book.
Yeah. Hold the
comic.
door.
oh.
Hold the door.
I've been trying to find a Gandalf pipe. That thing is so cool, and he smokes Hobbit weed. I mean,
He does.
what a great movie.
Hobbit movie is strong, man. You got to be careful. So for me, like I just the reason I like a trade is because I don't necessarily want to buy each individual issue, have to store all of these books, have to worry about like the cost of all the individual issues when the trade costs less, and I can read all the books collected, and it stores more easily.
I mean, I have an issue. I know that.
You have a lot of issues behind you.
Yeah, they're like,
Hey.
wow.
If I could walk around and pull out like you, Old Wolf, I would just buy comics too. I don't have the option to pull out my boxes like that.
Oh, my
You know what?
boxes. Oh, I thought, well,
Too easy.
this is John's Comic with Kids. I don't want to get an issue about pulling out or anything like this. So
I didn't even mean it like that.
Okay, so it's just like, I don't know. It's like when you get the trade, it makes me feel like you missed out on individual books.
Yeah, but they're in the trade.
Yeah, but they're not individual books.
No, they're one individual book.
You
with,
can pull the pages
six
out.
chapters.
You can pull the pages out and staple
To
them.
Old Wolf's point, he's talking more about the like being able to be
Comic.
involved in the discussion as the issues drop.
Sure.
And by the time you read the trade, sometimes the story's been spoiled. Like I know things about Ice Cream Man. If I read the trade, it's already been spoiled for me. Like there's no twists left because I've seen enough Instagram to know all the things that are going to happen. So I can understand that element of like a good trade. So like I've had to dodge East of West spoilers. I'm like only 3 volumes in, and that crap's like 10 volumes deep. Like,
did you read the sequel? North to South.
That was gonna make you laugh. That's so obvious coming.
It was so bad. North by Northwest.
He couldn't even carry it. He was like losing it when he was.
He lost it. Yeah, halfway in, he lost it.
But to your point, John, I think that would actually benefit Old Wolf because I feel like even if Old Wolf hears a spoiler, by the time the trade comes out, he will have forgotten about it, and it'll still have the same effect.
And you picked the two worst. You picked the two worst examples, John.
I could get it out there faster. Honest to God.
John, you picked the 2 worst examples. For number 1, Ice Cream Man, you can't know anything about Ice Cream Man. Like, what could you know about it? Whatever they post, you could never know about it. And East to West, no one knows what the fuck's going on. There's no spoilers.
But you know something? I'll pick up a trade, and it even the print, the colors, isn't the same as if it was in individual floppy. You know, it's too bright or it's too. I don't know. It just doesn't look the same.
If it's too bright, this guy's not going to enjoy it.
Too bright, as in
Tony,
like intelligence,
true.
or as in luminance?
Tony, that's true if you buy a trade of like your comic from 1989 that's been reprinted in a trade and they do it on the new paper.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're buying an image, if you're doing like what we're talking about, it's like the same paper. If you're doing like Scare and Hood's going to be on the same paper as.
I will say legitimately, I will say indies are made for a trade paperback world.
Yeah.
Like I'm so grateful that I could just go and read Descender and read the entire first story and really just enjoy that for what it was, or that I could dive into something like Southern Bastards and read those first 2 volumes and feel like, wow, together this makes an epic story. And if I had read individual issues, I might not have enjoyed it as much as those first 2 trades together are like epic and perfection.
And you know, and to me, I'm kind of tanked. I mean, I enjoy the independents. I really do. I think right now they're a great read. They're great to look at. But I'm also from the time when, you know, independence was a small kitchen sink comics. You know, and it was more for the college kids or whatever. It wasn't mainstream. So I don't know. It still doesn't. Still, I don't know. I still rather have a floppy than a trade.
I buy my super indie stuff, like the stuff I get from like IG and stuff like that. I buy those as floppy.
John.
There you go.
When he said I'd rather have a floppy, the look on Perry's face. I'd rather have a floppy. There you go.
I like floppies.
North and South.
Ooh, what is that? Hey, what is that graphic that you got there? What is your graphic there?
That is Unveil.
That's
in the underread, in the very underread Age of X-Men series, which is actually pretty good. Drew's in the chat. Me and Drew rep Age of X-Men as much as we can, though no one drew it. She is a character in that like sort of alternate universe.
Okay, but my
And,
favorite part of this is the fact that you have is the fact that you have like the ultimate lurk going on there. Do you see
Yep.
Apocalypse lurking in the
He knows what's
background
up.
there?
Because he saw
Yeah.
it was coming.
Well, he's full lurking in the background there, just like watching, like, hey, sexy lady, what are you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah,
that's actually
I thought that was
so it's
Perry.
in
the background
Apocalypse
there.
and the Extracts. Yeah, it's in. That's crazy that you saw that. It's in Apocalypse and the Extracts. I mean, I'm looking on my phone or whatever, but so that's like if you made Apocalypse and his crew like Beatniks, that's what that series is, written by Tim Seeley.
That's
So that was really
hilarious.
good. And go ahead.
I'm super close to having the entire Age of Apocalypse story. I've never read it. Thanks to Old Wolf, I got volume 3. I'm getting really close. I'm gonna dive in, I think, over Thanksgiving break and try to read the full Age of Apocalypse, which is full 90s goodness, and just like dive into that
I
shit.
love it. My favorite.
I've never read a single issue of it.
You have to read. You should read Legion Quest first, though. Is that included in those, or
Let me grab the volumes I've got.
you could get what's going on? Legion Quest, though. A lot of this older stuff, though, can also just be read. We should all just buy Marvel Unlimited for $9.99.
I
Shite.
have Marvel Unlimited.
Oh, so
You
you
could read if you don't have Legion Quest, just read it on Marvel Unlimited first.
So let me blow this up and show you what I got. So I got the complete Age of Apocalypse volumes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Legion Quest. I don't
There
see
you go.
anything called Legion Quest. It's got X-Men Chronicles, Tales of the Age of Apocalypse by the Light, X-Man, Tales of the Age of Apocalypse, Sinister Bloodlines, Blink, X-Men Alpha, The Chosen, Generation Next, Astonishing X-Men, Excalibur, Gambit and the Externals, Weapon X, Amazing X-Men, Factor X, X-Man, Excalibur, Astonishing X-Men, a lot of the same.
Wait.
Those-
Yeah. So those are doubles then, right?
I think it's like issues 2 and 3, and it's kind of in order. So it's like 1 and 2, 2 and like 3 and 4, that kind of thing.
Like they did with Donna X. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I have all of these X-Men in the Age of Apocalypse, Alpha and Reign.
Oh, those are later. Those are like 10 years later.
Yeah, so I got these as well.
I've never read those.
I've never read these either, but I saw the artwork and I was like, let's just check this shit out.
Yeah.
So that's the 5 like huge volumes. I'm missing the 4th volume of the complete Age of Apocalypse.
I forgot to pick it up this week, sir.
The Omni.
You're a bad friend, Old Wolf.
I'll do. Drew Manchu wants it too. I'll reread Age of Apocalypse just for the hell of it. Let's cancel that. Let's cancel that silly Claremont show you have and read some real X-Men. Right in the 90s, 1996. That's the real stuff. Where everyone's power is laser blasts.
Right now, Perry's like, when are you guys going to talk about video games, and when are you guys going to talk about DC?
Yeah.
I like indies. I read a lot. I got multiple indies behind me.
No, I'm just
got this
with you, brother.
This bad boy.
I
It's my
kinda-
favorite.
I agreed with Perry. I kind of checked out
This is
when we
awesome.
started talking X-Men.
Hey,
Look at this.
Perry, I just sent my pink
Gorgeous.
variant. I just sent my
Oh, the pink
variant
signature.
to CGC, brother. I'm hoping for that 9/8 pink variant, brother.
Be awesome.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
That book, I found it at Baltimore Comic-Con a year ago, and it looked primo. And I had it pressed and cleaned, and that's the book more than almost any other that I sent that I want 9/8 on.
Very
Heck
cool.
yeah.
So okay, then Legion Quest. Maybe I got to look on the Marvel app and read those before I read these. You think?
Yeah. It's like the reason they're in that world, and it's only a few issues. Yeah. It's like
Okay, then
it's
I'll try to read that before Thanksgiving and then like be ready.
Yeah, it's essentially Legion goes to the past. What?
I love
X-Men 90s.
TJ. He's right there with. This is the only thing he might agree with Perry on. X-Men in the 90s are packing material.
So fun. It's so fun. Jim Lee X-Men. I'd rather read Jim Lee X-Men than the Claremont stuff. I'm telling you that right now.
I got plenty of it.
I said it.
I like the animated series of X-Men.
Same.
And the next one that came out, the Evolution one, that was pretty good too.
I want to watch that.
Disney. It was on Disney for a while. I don't know if it's still there.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Is it?
Heck yeah! I tried to show my girls, and they were like, "What the heck is this?
Why are they Australian?
What the heck is this, mate? I don't like it."
Sean Connery is better.
Yeah, is it? All right. Have you read X-Men Messiah and Messiah War? I
haven't.
think so. I don't think I have. But we're going to get out of here because it is almost an hour and a half, way longer than book club ever should go.
Why you want to go?
Oh, we were supposed to talk about books?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Then
bad.
we're just hanging out.
I went through all these indies, mother. What are you expecting?
What do you mean, John?
What do you mean? It's your show. You want to talk about them? Fine. We'll let you talk about them. We let Perry talk about like using crayons.
Look how cute that baby is.
Lines. And Chris, he was. What do you want to?
Wait. What baby? Yeah. See, that's the one baby ruining that show, and I'm happy to complain about that show as being
Okay, episode 3, you didn't enjoy? That's the
Episode
one
3
show
was
that I've
great.
ever watched as a family with everyone together on the couch.
I'm sorry. I'm still going to hold on to the fact that I did not sign up for the babysitter show. I just did not. I signed
Well,
up.
he's
for
not-
the
he's
I
not
signed up for the
babysitting.
Mandalorian. He's babysitting every
He's-
freaking episode.
Boy, he's trying to find his people so he could return him.
It's
John
the
got enough
babysitter show.
babysitters
Every
left in
week,
high school.
every week is like
Okay,
who's
look,
gonna watch
the
the
first
kid?
episode was Tremors. The second
And
episode
who's
was
gonna watch the
Aliens.
kid? And who's gonna
The
watch
third
the
one was
kid?
good.
John,
Who's gonna
you
watch the
don't you're telling me you don't enjoy the movie Avengers and Babysitting? This is just Adventures in Babysitting in Star Wars world. Like, come on. I know if we did Drinks and Movie show about Adventures and Babysitting, that would make the list. And this is just taking that movie and placing it in the Star Wars world.
And I'm saying I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for the Mandalorian. I want to see him kicking ass, and I don't want to see him watching babies.
He kicks ass. He kicks ass every episode.
Dude,
He
the
kicks ass.
baby even
watches
eats other
babies.
babies. Dude, he eats other babies.
I don't want to watch him
The
watching
frog babies.
babies.
Didn't he eat the frog babies?
So number 3 was
know.
awesome, especially if you've watched Clone Wars and Rebels. Like
I have it. When the baby
It's
went
so
into the guy's mouth, oh my god, I lost it on the couch. I almost lost it. I thought the baby was gonna die.
Oh, come on. Like, they're going to kill the freaking baby. It's the show.
Yeah.
The show
How
is
did he
the
get out?
big
How did he
show.
get out?
No, John, the show is called The Mandalorian, not the baby.
Yeah,
Come on.
It is the Baby Yoda show, and it will be for life because that's the
should be
only
the
reason
Baby
people tune in. They'll never harm that kid, and they'll never let that kid leave the Mandalorian.
Well,
it is the
yeah,
show.
because it's Baby Yoda. They've got to get
The
Baby
Baby
Yoda from the
Yoda
other
show.
Star Wars movies.
that baby's definitely dying in season 3 because
That-
they got to get
I will
They
tell
gotta
you
get-
right now, I will do the hot potato chip challenge that Jabroni did if they kill that freaking baby on that show. They will never kill that baby on that freaking show.
I need to what timestamp? What timestamp? I need to clip this. Yeah, I need to clip this.
127:40.
I'm gonna clip this. So when
They
it happens,
they will never kill Baby Yoda. Are you crazy?
not kill, but will he be out of the show or not a main character in the show? That's the same thing, right? Because you're saying it's a cash cow.
totally different. That's totally different.
whoa,
Here we go. Here we go.
No.
Time out, John. Time out.
They will never
Time out.
show a nude Baby Yoda on the. Yeah, we got that. We know they won't kill him.
Here's
We got it.
that. Well, are we talking kill, or are we talking like, oh, they killed
Boba
Superman
Fett
in
kill.
the 90s?
like because they killed Boba Fett, right? But he's not really dead.
Boba.
He's back.
Boba Fett. How you say it? Boba. Isn't that a drink?
It's Baba. It's Baba.
Boba Fett. Come on, dude. I'm gonna do a reaction, and like thousands of people are gonna make fun of me. Dude.
Boba.
It's
Boba.
annoying.
Thousands of people.
It's annoying, man. People make fun of me all the time.
Then you still put out videos. You're still addicted.
But John, that's the question. though.
It pays the bills, chaos.
Is this kill off?
No, it
Are we
doesn't.
talking comics?
It
kill
does.
Off? No one's ever dead.
Like
Right.
$2,000 a month, dude.
Yeah.
I'm saying if they If they
so that's why, but I think that's what Chaos's point is accurate. If they take him out of the movie, like the main character of the show, that's basically killing him off because Superman died, but he didn't really die.
They will write him out. There are other spin-offs coming. The baby will leave the show in the last episode.
A chip.
The baby will leave the show in the last episode.
I heard the baby is a host for Palpatine. That's what Fatal J told me.
Fatal J.
Fatal J is my number one source. I don't care what anybody says. That's my guy. I love that guy. He has so much energy.
Are they having a Baby Yoda cut?
Until they watch the Snyder cut, and you're
like, wow, they told him he was crazy. They told Fatal J he was crazy, that there's never going to be a Snyder cut. And what happened? What happened?
No, that's not what they told him crazy about. They told him that they'll never be able to fix a freaking broken car.
No, I'll go back and I'll make a compilation video because they 1,000% multiple people.
Thousands of people said there will be a Snyder cut. That was the big deal. Everyone was
and everyone said those people were crazy.
That's what I'm saying, though. Fatal J wasn't the only one saying there will be a Snyder cut.
You're right, but he was the only person I seen doing it.
I never said there won't be a Snyder cut. I'll say that a Snyder cut will not fix that movie.
It might.
It will not.
Although they're changing it a lot.
They're changing it a lot.
All that money.
Well, they're not changing it. They're making it how it's supposed to be.
All that money they spent on redoing Steppenwolf just to make him look like he's got more spikies. That's like it. Like it looks just as crappy as he did the first time. Like there's no difference to me.
Well, we'll see.
We shall.
I don't think they can. You're polishing a turd here, people. You're polishing a turd.
Hey, you know what they say? You put lipstick on a pig.
What did they say about
a house?
You did, Kurt, because it's
when you buy a house to flip it. You buy a piece of shit house, you put lipstick on, and you sell it. You know, cosmetic changes real quick.
But
it works.
You're not going to fix this movie. I'm just telling you, they're not. They're not.
Time out.
Hey, there's way more than 4 minutes.
If they do, if they do fix the movie and make it better, will you do the one hot chip challenge?
No, you have to do 2 hot chips back to back.
Wait, but then you're talking about who decides it's better.
Me? I'll let you, John. I trust your integrity as a human being that if you would actually say this is better or not, because I have faith in your integrity as a person.
But then better becomes the difference. Like,
John can't be the one ranking it because he didn't like Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is not a quality film.
I thought it was great.
Has so many flaws. Fundamentally,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as a film.
Yeah, but you've enjoyed. I've watched your channel. You've enjoyed a lot of movies.
I have. I haven't watched a bad movie. Okay, name me one movie I watched that was bad.
I'll have to go to your channel and go count all.
You haven't, because I've been watching the classics.
Talk amongst yourself. I'm pulling up his channel now. Talk amongst yourself.
Yo, I watched Roadhouse. Did you know Patrick Swayze looks just like the guy from The Thing?
No, he does not look anything like Kurt Russell.
You guys are asleep. I thought it was him the whole time. Kurt Russell, yeah. He looks like identical.
No, he doesn't.
I did the side-by-side comparison, and when you lower the opacity and you put them over each other, comparison.
Oh, okay.
And when you put their pictures on top of each other, they blend together.
Yeah. No.
I got to get past the Halloween stuff because I don't know that trash.
But those are all pretty good. There's
definitely some shallow waters there.
I mean, but they were horror movies. What do you expect?
Well, that's true enough. I still think the original Friday the 13th is trash, but that's just.
Friday the 13th was probably the worst one I watched for the simple fact that there was no Jason in the movie. He came out at the fucking lake for like a half a second. I'm like, come on, dude.
Which makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, people didn't know. I mean, people didn't know there was going to be a whole Jason. Like,
I guess that's my fault because I'm going into it thinking of Jason Machete, and I didn't see it, and I was like, wow, no payoff.
When I watched the first Friday the 13th, to be honest, I was maybe like 13 or 14.
Can I count the Trolls music video by Nicki Minaj?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Did I watch that one? Oh, that was a great video, John. Did you see it?
No, I don't give a fuck about it.
It's a very entertaining video.
I'm gonna have to say, I don't think Perry has actually watched too many bad movies because they're all. I'm taking away the Halloween because I can't give my.
That doesn't count then. That's like 30 movies right there.
Okay, Bloodshot. Bloodshot was horrible.
What'd you say, Perry?
Bloodshot. Bloodshot was pretty bad.
And look where I stopped, and I said it would took him 6 months to get to a bad movie, and it was Bloodshot.
Well, there you go.
Perry, we did it.
Me and Bud,
Man, I'm like a movie. How do you say it? Cinephilia. Movies.
Because half the movies he's watched are what you suggested, John.
Is there a dead body?
Have you guys never? Oh, look, he enjoyed all the Snyder films.
He did not enjoy Sucker Punch. You are lying.
Sucker Punch is a shit movie.
I haven't seen Sucker Punch.
I agree with this. TJ is in timeout.
I like a lot of Snyder movies, but even I will be the first to admit that
I saw fucking Sucker Punch in the movie theater.
Trash.
That movie sucks. That is just a disaster.
Perry, do a reaction to Sucker Punch if you haven't seen that, and you will be just miserable.
I don't know if I want to see that though, because now you're making it seem like it's unpleasant, and I already hate doing these videos.
You hate doing them now?
I just hate the editing process. I need to get to the point where I can hire someone to edit it for me because I don't like doing it.
Because Lord of the Rings is a 3-hour movie,
and I did. There's 3 of them.
You burned yourself out though.
Hey, have you watched all 3?
No, I stopped in the second one halfway.
You burned yourself out. You weren't acting like this before October.
Oh man, I guess it's way too much editing, dude.
Before October, you said you found a way to like cut your editing time in half. You were super excited, and then you're gonna do one every day in October.
So that's for like an hour and a half. It'll take me maybe like 5 hours. But like a 2.5 to 3 hour movie can take me like 10 hours. But all I want to do is play Call of Duty now.
That's why I don't edit anything. I can't do that.
I got to end this show. This show is going on.
Why are you gonna end this show?
John, what indies are you picking up next week?
I'm going to dropping a video tomorrow. You can find out what's coming out next week. It's going to be monetized, so there'll be some money coming to John, but it doesn't matter because only like 100 people watch it anyway. So it doesn't matter, but I'm appreciative of those 100 people.
You going to watch The Flash?
Thank you to Old Wolf, who's part of the Tag Team Thursday. He's dropping a video right after mine. Awesome.
I watched a movie tonight. What was it called?
Just a Rican and his comics. He's dropping one right before mine. So Tag Team Thursday is happening tomorrow. I'm going to be hanging with Bearded talking Joel Schumacher on Saturday night. Perry's dropping videos all the freaking time. What did you just drop? Didn't you just drop one today? Roadhouse?
Oh, yeah. Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. And then I got Aquaman ready to go. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched Rebecca. Has anyone seen Rebecca?
I don't care about that. I'm saying Roadhouse has got titties, right?
That's a lot. And I wasn't expecting it. So I was I was ranting for a second and I looked away. I was like, this is unbelievable. And then I looked back at the screen and I got a nice surprise.
The titties. There's a big set of titties and there's a smaller set of titties. Which one are you commenting on?
I have no problem with any of them. And Chaos.
Did you take your shirt off again?
You just dropped a video looking back at your books that you've been picking up lately, right?
Your boobies.
Yeah. I just show up occasionally.
He's got a video on his channel. I'm going to go back through in just a couple seconds and put the links to everybody's channels down below because I didn't know who was going to join me, but now I got 4 homies. So thank you guys for coming by.
Hey, so Bearded, you got anything coming on? You know,
what are you coming on?
Up the Flash?
What do I have? Man, I just, I dropped a video today. I did an interview with Chris Condon, writer of Texas Blood. Mrs. Bearden and I got a video dropping Friday. And then I'm doing my amalgam series on Mondays right now. So taking a little pause from the mystery boxes. They might get thrown in every once in a while, but going to them.
Yeah, mystery boxes are expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
Wait till you monetize.
I'm waiting until people send me them. No, I'm just joking. No one's going to do that.
Go watch the Green King's channel. He somehow got 2,000 viewers, and all he did was open mystery boxes and not know what was inside of them.
And then he stopped.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's like this is not financially feasible anymore.
I just want to tell everybody I'm eating hot chicken wings on Saturday.
like not normally hot, like a normal hot, or like a hot wing.
From anywhere
Like-
from 1,000 Scoville up to 2 million plus.
I'm not good with the metric system, so if you could let me know, is that like eating 1 jalapeno, 100 jalapenos? Like I got a jalapeno
Where
scale.
the hell did you get the metric system out of that?
It's
What do you
like
mean?
it's like when you poop fire.
Oh, like Taco Bell, but like extra, like stomach
Yeah,
acid coming out.
Taco Bell.
Oof,
All
like
right,
it sizzles
so-
the hairs.
Gorm Vidal saying you watched the original Rebecca, another great Hitchcock movie.
No, the one on Netflix, a new one. That was like a romantic
Screw
movie.
that. Oh, okay.
Not
It
the
was
same.
good. There's an original one. Nobody told me there was an original. I watched it. It was really
Hitchcock
good.
made the original movie.
Hitchcock. I seen 2 Hitchcock. I'm gonna watch Rear Window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the movie, y'all.
that's the next
movie.
Hitchcock. And then I
That's
got to do
the
Psycho
movie.
too. I know he didn't.
But
do
you
it,
should watch the original Rebecca if you watch
No.
the new one. That's
You're
a
going to
good
do
one.
Psycho 2? Stop. No.
Psycho
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, everyone told me to watch Psycho 2 and then go to.
They're clowning you.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, big time.
Harry,
From the
they're making
90s?
fun of you. It's not
The
good.
Psycho remake
Oh,
was
man.
good. The Psycho remake
They're
was
all bad. They're all bad.
Did you see Psycho 1?
I seen
Yes,
the
we did
original
a great-
Psycho.
we did a- it was one of
We
my
did a great
favorite
reaction to
Harry reaction videos.
It was a good movie. Did you know at the end of the movie it was him
Yes.
dressed up as his dead mother?
Yes.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
We've seen the movie.
I'm just saying, I finally get to like know stuff, you know?
wouldn't even harm a fly on my head.
Did you see that meme with Mike Pence?
Which one?
Mike Pence, who had the fly landing on
Oh,
his
the
head
fly
during
in
the-
his head.
and they basically put the same sound from Psycho
They
over
did it
that
black and
moment.
white.
I wouldn't
That's
even
funny.
harm a fly.
Yeah, they literally just did a black and white.
They
They turned it Mike Pence with a fly on his head,
Gold. It's
and then
freaking
they
gold.
added that to it, and it's hilarious.
Signing off for an hour.
So
Yeah, he's pulling a
basically-
rod. He's
thanks
pulling a
for-
rod. He's
thanks
pulling
for
a late night
coming
rod.
by, coming by. I appreciate you all hanging out for talking indie comics and all sorts
Wait,
of
when
other
are you
things
dropping your
happening.
next video?
Tomorrow at 6:45 Eastern.